It's summer and we at Alter Vigo had a thought. How sustainable could we make a summer break? Well, today we are trying to answer that question. In this video, we will be jumping on a sleeper train dubbed the Night Riviera and travelling 300 miles from London to Penzance and looking at the plastic-free Penzance initiative. We wanted to cut our emissions for this trip, so we decided to take the night sleeper train all the way there. Falling asleep in the capital and waking up at the end of the UK seemed like the best option. And in doing so, we managed to reduce the carbon emissions of the break by 68%. Before we take you down to Penzance and talk to some of the people trying to make the town plastic free, it would be a shame to skip over this unique experience, so let's first talk about the Night Riviera. We'll be starting our journey in central London, specifically at the historic Paddington railway station. It's one of the UK's most beautiful train stations, dating back to the mid-1800s. We bought the tickets on the GWR app, and when you purchase a sleeper cabin, you also get access to the first class lounge. Fun fact, this older section of the first class lounge was actually Queen Victoria's royal waiting room way back in the 1800s. In contrast, the modern section houses refreshments as well as showers to freshen up before your journey. It would be nice to see more plastic alternatives and sustainable practices here, but let's hope that Penzance makes up for this. Now that it's time to board, let's check out the train. These carriages were actually totally refurbished back in 2017 and 2018 and is now touted to be among Europe's best commercial sleeper service. You even get a hotel style keycard which is already set up so you can open and lock your room with ease. The room is fairly small, but they have fit a lot of features into this. There is a surprisingly comfortable bed, a wardrobe to hang your clothes, as well as a couple of unfortunately plastic bottles of water. There is a sink where you can wash your hands and brush your teeth. Soap and a towel is included. If you're wondering where to put your bags, there is an overhead storage area and an under bed storage area. There is also a couple of power points for charging any devices. We just have a single sleeper cabin today, but there is an option to split this room for two. A second bunk comes down and there is a fold-out ladder to access this. There's also a few different lights you can use, as well as the all-important room temperature control switch. Located between the sleepers and economy class, the restaurant offers a multitude of seating options, from couple seating to solo sofas and of course 4-person booths. You can order at the bar and there are complimentary drinks and snacks included in your ticket price. The next morning you are woken with a choice of breakfast. We went for the vegan option and we were given a mix of fruit and a small breakfast bar. Again, not super happy with the amount of plastic. Hopefully GWR will make some more sustainable changes in the future. Although, enjoying a nice coffee from your bed while watching the world go by is certainly better than driving down a motorway. As we glide our way into Penzance, we are treated to some amazing views from the window. Now that we have finally arrived, let's check out Penzance and try and talk a little about the plastic-free Penzance initiative. Plastic-free Penzance was set up by Surfers Against Sewage. One of their goals was to create plastic-free communities. Plastic pollution has sadly become synonymous with coastal activity. From surfing to walking, beach holidays to wildlife watching, it is now an expected part of the experience. This is why plastic pollution, and specifically tackling society's throwaway, excessive or unnecessary plastic culture, has become the top priority for Surfers Against Sewage. Plastic pollution is an issue which affects all parts of society and is something we can all take action on at every level. Plastic-free Penzance aims to minimise the town's contribution to the plastic crisis. There are 120 businesses listed in the Plastic-free Penzance directory. We spent the day trying to find as many as we could and to see if any of the businesses had something to say.
My name's Amanda and the business is The Way in Penzance. We sell all lots of loose food, anywhere from sultanas raisins to cereals to flour, sugar, sweets, spices. But we have found that more people do bring in their own bags and their own boxes to weigh up, put the stuff in, so there's no waste at all as such.
I'm Katie Macy and I work at the Planted House Penzance. We sell houseplants, pots, candles by local businesses and books by other plant enthusiasts. So we try to reduce our plastic use as much as we can in the shop. It's a little bit tricky to do where Most of our plant suppliers give our plants in plastic trays, but we try to dispose of it as eco-friendly as possible. And we only use like paper packaging here, paper bags, and we do reuse bubble wrap. Like our customers bring it into the shop so we can wrap pots in it and everything, so everything's, yeah, reused. I think it's a great movement. I've lived in Penzance my whole life, so I've always grown up with people trying to take that next step to being eco-friendly. And I think it's a bit tricky and daunting to start with. People think, oh, I've got to try and do it all at once and fix my whole life and be like really green. But I think just little baby steps just can make a huge difference, and obviously it protects the environment. I think people are becoming, for like lack of a better word, like hipster, because they are like taking on new ways of life and living their life differently.
Nigel Bell, and I run a small gallery on Chapel Street called Chapel Street Art Gallery, selling original and prints by my wife Sarah Bell, who's a professional artist. We've just started taking on these new bags, compostable bags, that we've just started to use for our art cards. We sell a lot of cards from our spinners outside. So we've started using these because you do need the protection, unfortunately, when they're outside. So we've got these new bags that we're buying, trying to use a lot of cardboard as much as we can and trying to cut back on plastic as much as we can. Very important, and of course we've got to come away from using plastic as quick as we can, really. I think Penzance is it's very proactive. A lot of interesting people that live and work here. So, and I think there's a good community of people trying to make a difference. Penzance, I think, has been flying the flag for many years, and we've only been open 3 years, and we're happy to do our little bit along the way.
So my name's Joel, this is Roundhouse, so like a small independent neighbourhood coffee spot. So we use Decent Packaging, which are a company who produce kind of 100% compostable packaging for food. It means it doesn't have like the plastic inlining that a lot of takeaway coffee cups have. We also offer people discount if they bring their own cups, so keep cups or ceramics or whatever like that, and then obviously kind of recycle wherever possible. I am very conscious of us being a takeaway business, and therefore obviously that generates packaging and waste, unfortunately. Ideally, I would love for us to not provide any packaging whatsoever and to turn customers away unless they brought their own cup. But realistically, that's not financially possible at the moment, but maybe that's something in the future. But yeah, I guess kind of whatever we can do to kind of reduce waste and eliminate kind of single-use wastage, the better.
We at Alter Vigo think towns and movements like this are incredibly inspiring. We hope that shining a light on this issue and what people are doing to help will inspire you to make small changes to your lifestyle so that we can all live in a clean environment. Our trip to Penzance was amazing, and we encourage you to visit all these businesses that are taking part. That's everything from us today at Alter Vigo. Please be sure to leave a like and a subscribe, and there is plenty more great content to come.